Hello everyone, my name is Meg Harley and I am going to be presenting on Chapter 17, which includes the ideas of managing conflict, politics, and negotiation. An overview of my presentation. First, we're going to look at the types of conflicts, then the conflict management strategies, a quick glance at negotiation, a summary of the article that I posted on Blackboard, and finally, my discussion questions. First, the type of conflicts, which I categorize up to down, which typically has the least volume of people to most. First, at the top, an interpersonal conflict will happen between individuals in an organization, usually just because of their differences in goals or values. Next is the intra-group conflict, which arises within an entire group, team, or department. This is where the one-on-one conflict becomes more people. An intergroup conflict will occur between groups, teams, or departments within an organization. And finally, on the bottom, an interorganizational conflict will happen across entire companies. Next, we're going to move on to the conflict management strategies. The book mentions a total of 5 strategies, but really only 2 of them tend to be functional. Those include compromise and collaboration. Compromise will occur when each party is concerned about the other's goals and are actually willing to adopt a give-and-take relationship to solve that issue. On the other hand, collaboration is a way to manage conflict where both parties try to accomplish their goals by developing a new approach that leaves them both better off together than they were separate. The less functional strategies mentioned in the book are accommodation, avoidance, and competition, which typically are not good in any company. Now I will move on to negotiating. The 2 major types of negotiation. First, I'll talk about distributive. This type has both parties viewing it as a sharing of resources, which the book mentions as a fixed pie. This can commonly take on an adversarial stance against one another, and this is where each party actually must concede something to obtain the goal, and therefore the type of conflict strategy tends to be competition. On the other hand, there is integrated bargaining. This is where the 2 parties believe in this case they can actually increase their resources together instead of arguing, so their pie can actually grow. This tends to be a win-win situation between those parties where they actually develop just a new and creative solution. The conflict strategy typically is between one of the 2 functional management strategies I previously mentioned, either collaboration or compromise. Next, I just wanted to go over the few key points of the article I attached to my Blackboard post. The article is named Don't Deal with Conflict, Eliminate It with a Culture of Clarity, written by Anne Latham. She discusses how conflict is actually the result of fears and unproductive behaviors that originate in disagreement. The article distinguishes the difference between disagreement and conflict and how disagreement is actually essential in any organization. Disagreement tends to be healthy and lets people explore other ideas without becoming destructive, as conflict tends to do. She also makes the bold statement that 95% of conflict is caused by a lack of clarity, whether employees do not know what questions to ask or who to actually ask. Confusion in the office can turn disagreement to conflict, which is very destructive. The idea of creating a culture of clarity is introduced by her, an environment where everything is as clear as can be, and if it isn't, people actually know who directly to contact to get that answer. I wanted to bring in a real example going on recently in the news that utilizes one of the conflict management strategies. This strategy is collaboration. We discussed the issue in Flint, Michigan with clean drinking water. Walmart actually combined with Pepsi, Coca-Cola, and Nestle, who are normally competitors in markets, to reach out and collaborate to bring 176 truckloads a day of clean water to the people in Flint. They were able to actually put away their differences in this time and work towards the common goal of helping out a community. I wanted to thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation and read the discussion questions I have thought of for Blackboard. The first question is related to the article. Do you really believe 95% of conflict originates from a lack of clarity? And my second question is, which of the 6 sources of conflict do you believe is the most prominent cause? All of those causes are actually listed in the book and described in pages 514 and 515 of the text. Thank you again, and I look forward to discussing the topic more with all of you.